YouTube, it's Queen Pam Elon QP, and I'm here for World Card Making Day 2021. I don't think I've ever done a video for that, and I was playing with earlier in the week some wrinkle-free distress, um, Tim Holtz technique where you put your distress inks down on the um, well, for what I wanted, I used the Teflon mat because you get a different pattern when you use it on the glass as opposed to the Teflon mat. And I started with some 130-pound Cougar Opaque that I get from Marco's Paper. So after I did that, I cut out these fabulous leaves. Again, another Tim Holtz product. This die here. The number is 665,549, I think. Nope, 665,559. And they are called leaf fragments. And I love them. I mean, you get, depending on what you do with it, you get a very realistic looking leaf. So those are the impetus for my plan. And then this is so gorgeous to me that I wanted to get even the tiniest little bit out of it, and I had a die from Concord and Ninth. Yep. Harvest wreath dies, and I think they go with this, or at least I bought them. Yep, this is the harvest wreath spin around, and so I think we will do this and then layer some realistic leaves over the top. Let me get set up and I'll come back. I'm not set up yet, but I just noticed that this makes two different ones. I had forgotten about that. And I think for my purposes, because I'm going to layer actual things around it in a wreath, maybe this one. Let's do them both, and then we can audition which one we like. Probably going to butcher these instructions, but this is what I do. The turnabout stamps from Concord and Ninth come with a placement guide. And so I have this one face down on the placement guide. I also have this turnabout jig, and I'm going to put it in my Misty. Let me get over where you can see what I'm doing. And I'm putting it in there, and then I'm going to line this up with the center of that, and it might actually be easier to do it to see. And then and put it back in the Misty. And then that tells you where to put your stamp so that your Misty can grab it. So you take this off, duh. Close the Misty down. Come on, Misty. That was the wrong one. So then you take off. Nope, that is not right. Take two. So you line this up, stamp side up to the jig, and it's got a center X and center lines so that you know where to put it in your Misty. Put it in your Misty. And I'm going to do this so that the stamp can release and pick the stamp up. Voila. Then, and I've got a little bit of sticky on here. I have a 6x6 piece of paper, which will fit on the jig. And I put it in there. And then I can stamp, turn, turn, turn. So I'm going to use the colors that I use for the wrinkle-free distress. And they are Candy Apple, fossilized amber, spiced marmalade, and peel paint. So let me zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with this pulled over the alignment guide. I need to take that off so that I'm able to ink. I'm going to put it there. These are new stamps. So what I think I'm going to do, yeah, definitely what I'm going to do is get my Altenew eraser, my Altenew stamp conditioner, but it's basically an eraser, and give them a good wipe down so that they will accept ink. Now this is distress ink and it doesn't like to, it's not really designed for stamping to begin with. So you get what you get and you don't get upset. Sit down, allow the ink some time to catch onto the paper, absorb into the paper. Again, this is 130-pound Kuguro pink, which is very similar to heavy stock. And we got a pretty good impression. Gonna clean off our stamps. I'm gonna give it a little mist because I really don't want the red in my yellow, because there's gonna be enough orange to begin with. Okay. And you pick up your paper and turn it one rotation. Put it back in your MISTI. Pick up your next color, ink up your stamp. Close it down, let it absorb. Very good. Clean your stamp. Rotate your paper one more time. Pick up your next color. And I think I'm going to want the green next to the yellow. Let the green absorb into the paper. And here's what we have so far. Kind of pretty, huh? Clean. And then we have one more color to do. And that's our orange. Close the MISTI. Oh, good thing I put the green where I put it, right? Because the green, you really can't see the orange. I forgot to rotate. I know you guys were out there like, rotate, rotate. But just in case we gathered any green from our card stock, we're going to clean it again. And do the orange. And that is really pretty, just like that. But I want to use the dies. I want to use this circle die and cut out the center so that I can build use it to put as a guide, really, to put my real leaves on. Okay, so I think we are done. I know I said we do them both to see which one we like, but I'm pretty sure I'm happy with this one. Let's put that off to the side. Dropping things on the floor. That's how it goes. All right. So are you making any cards for World Card Making Day? I hope you are. I hope even better still that maybe you were able to gather with friends. I'm going to run this through my Gemini. I'll get a cut. And definitely don't throw it away. You can put it on the inside of your card. So now I want to get a rectangle die and cut this to size. I know I said rectangle, but then I decided circle. And then I can use even more things that I have that I don't use often enough. Not big enough. Nope. Nope. Yes. And I want to see what size this circle is, because that'll determine what size card I want to make. It's a 4-inch card, so it can still go on an A2 card, which I'm happy about. Gonna die cut it again. Oops. These are waffle flowers nesting circle dies, but any of your circle dies that capture um, a lot of sizes will do. There we go. And we have you. Let's see. All right, I think I'm good here. And I want to work on my base. And I have another stamp. This is by Simon Says stamp, and it is Peel Apart Fall Leaves. So I will need my Misty again. And I'm going to do just a little bit of cleaning up and I'll be back. My A2 card base, it is not the Cougar Opaque. I kind of saved that for special things. This is Paper Tray. Stamper Select, I think they call it, maybe not. Any rate, that's what I'm calling it today. 8.5 by 4 1/4. Nope, 8.5 by 5 1/2. And then when I score it, it will be 8.5 by 4 1/4. My bone folder. Then I can put that in the MISTI with my stamp. And it's a pull apart stamp, so you can see that it is in a bunch of parts. So I need this to stick in here. So what I'm going to do is take some tape. I use my tape till the sticky is gone to hold it in place. Hope you can see what I'm doing there, because the magnets will not be able to hold this. And I need a piece of tape with no wrinkles so that it doesn't add to the background of what I'm doing. And I think this will be enough to hold the card in there. I'm going to put you in here, and I think we will gold emboss this background. I'm thinking I didn't want anything in the center, but I can use the circle die and cut me something. So let's get you lined up where you will cover the whole card. Yes, I could take the black out, but I'm not gonna. And I need some embossing ink. Not looking for it. And I finally have it. Keep my well-used ink, the ink that I use the most, right under my table in a container that I can just reach in and get it. Okay. And let's see if I can see my embossing ink. I really can't see it, so I'm going to do it again. You can see it on the stamp, so I'm pretty sure that my ink pad is not dry, but I'm not sure what. Oh, now I can see it. I wonder if I dare to try it again. Well, I am. I'm going to get the gold embossing powder and be right back. I keep my embossing folder in drawers, my embossing powder in drawers, so that I can just dip my card in. Don't want this to get on the MISTI because the powder is like a pain in the butt then. Let's scoop it up with a piece of paper and pour it over. I'm going to heat it up. Got my Milwaukee heating up, and I came to love stamping, or found out about stamping, by watching a demo of somebody doing the heat embossing, and I fell in love. can tell it because when it's done doing its thing, because it changes from a dark brown to a really bright gold. Now you can indeed burn your paper, which I did a little bit right there, but I will just brush over that with a little bit of distress ink and you will never know that I did. So that is that. And let's see if it's doing, yep, it's giving me the effect that I want. So for my sentiment, I want a clean circle here in the center. So let's die cut that. Right. And it'll be the exact same size because I'm going to use the exact same die. I decided to stamp first and then die cut. And then that way I can line it up easier. I'll have something to hold on to in the misty spare cardstock. And I think I will also gold heat emboss it. Yep, I can see it. I'll come back because you've guys seen the mystery of embossing powder, so I'll be back after. All right, so it is embossed. And I can put my magnets down. Uh-huh. And center my friend. I guess I cannot use that magnet. So I will use another piece of tape. And that's the whole problem. It should not be in the misty. I don't know what is going on. It's lined up. The beauty of the circle is, so long as it's somewhat in the center of the circle, you can spin it around to get it straight. This is just blue painter's tape from Lowe's, from the hardware store, in case you don't have a Lowe's near you, but I think they're almost everywhere, at least in the US. We might be ready for layering. And I think I want my colorful leaves to come from behind. Or do I want them to come from behind here? Let's see. What do we think? think they're gonna come from behind the big circle. Yeah, let's work that out. And then I'll be back because it's gonna be a lot of fiddling working that out. Hey, I think I've got my layout the way I want it, so I'm just gluing it under because what I did was to glue the circle on just around the center part so that I would be able to tuck however I want it. And now some on the front and on the back so that it would also help to glue this top circle in. I think I want you in the middle just to break up the same color. And then you. And this is much better placement. So I am going to lift you up like that. And then my placement got all moved, right? Oh well. And I got a little glue. And that's what I do when there's glue. And I'm going to pop this up with some foam. Could have die cut it out of a whole piece of foam, but I didn't. Here's a piece that's too big right there, and we'll just pull it back. Got my foam. Sorry if I was off out of frame. Come on. Now, have to get hello friend in the center. And I think I did pretty good. And so there is my card for World Card Making Day. I hope you make a card today and send it to somebody and brighten their day. As always, I leave you in the hands of the Creator. Bye bye.